Okay, welcome everybody. Maybe let's start. Now it's 12:15, almost 16. Nice that you all here. Please forgive me, my English is not so very good, but I try my best. Our presentation is now in English. Who speaks also German of you? Actually, almost everybody. Nice. And I'm actually originally I was born in Hungary, but I was growing up in Austria, close to Vienna. And then I became monk in Germany, and I'm practicing like 20 years around. And now the last years I'm also teaching like different kind of old scriptures, old Indian scriptures, and sometimes like seminars, lectures, whatever. I like also like philosophy and whatever, some subjects with knowledge. And today I choose a topic. Actually, I try to get some help, what can be helpful for students like you, which kind of topics. And I got somehow the inspiration like success and performance anxiety, because it can be maybe a difficulty maybe in your daily life, in your study life. And my goal is actually for this presentation to try to give you some inspiration, what can help you in your daily life, somehow to survive in a better way, that you can somehow overcome maybe some difficulties, some pressure in your life or maybe in the studies, because I can guess, I hear sometimes from students, it's really hard. Studies are not so easy sometimes, it's a lot of pressure. Hello. And this is my desire, that hopefully you can get out something. If you have some questions, please ask. I try to follow the line, or maybe we can also do on the end. If you have some, you can note, or if some burning questions, you can do also maybe during the session. But I try to keep it very short with some detailed points and try to explain everything so far that you can somehow get the main points. Okay, let's start together. Now again, like success and performance anxiety. And my first question, and I will not answer it now. Everybody is hearing me so far, okay? Is it okay for you? Sorry, I have a little bit weak voice. My first question to all of you, can we remain motivated without being attached to results? It's not an easy question. Again, try to go into the question and a little bit think about it, and I try to answer it during the whole presentation. And because it's not an easy thing that we can keep motivation, and on the same time we should be detached from the results. Is it possible? It's not an easy thing. We are doing something, we know all the time we are doing. Let's take mainly the subject of studies, of exams, of examinations, because this is your main duty now, so-called. Let's take this in focus, that is more easier for you to relate. And let's see what we hear more. If no one saw your grades, try to imagine, if no one could see your grades, would you study the same way? Maybe ask to yourself the question, if nobody would know which kind of marks I will get after my examinations, would I study the same way like what you are doing now? Maybe yes, maybe no, maybe. Because we have many different kinds of pressures in our days, like, for example, like the grades, internships, social comparison, career expectations, family pressure, maybe from the society, different things. You have maybe different kinds of things what influences you, and that's why it's sometimes not so easy to be so-called detached from results. What is performance anxiety? Is it like not just fear of failure? It can be like the fear of failure that we don't reach some success, like for example a good mark in our examination. But that can be different ways also. Hello.
Hello.
Nice to meet you. But it can be also like fear that failure defines me, or fear that success is never enough, and there is some little burning fire behind it, maybe you see it. That's actually an interesting point. Afterwards, during the presentation, I will present you out of like a very old scripture, an ancient scripture, like the Bhagavad Gita. It's from India. Somebody heard from the scripture? Maybe? 1, 2 little bits. It's an old scripture, also like Emerson, Kant, Hesse, Humboldt, Nietzsche, Hermann Hesse, and very important people read this book and appreciated it. There are many wisdoms, different topics of life. And actually in this book is also described that it is actually related to lust. But lust don't means all the time like, it's not only like sexual lust, it's like different desires, what we have, what we like to achieve, where we are hankering for it. And actually it described that if we are looking for success and it's never enough, like it's a fire, and we pull some oil into it. We like to give more and more, but actually we are not really satisfied. The fire is burning more, and we are more in anxiety. Actually, it's not cooling down, but it's like more in anxiety. This can be also a fear. Or like the fear of my identity that depends on outcomes. But actually, our identity is not our outcome. I mean, we can say if we reach a good mark after an exam, but this is not our identity. In the old scriptures is described that we are not this body, we are like a spiritual soul. And this understanding can help to be a little bit detached from different material things. Let's go further. Now you see here on the right side, on the picture, there is a picture from the Bhagavad Gita. This is like this old scripture. This is like the cover in the English version. And you see on the picture, there are two personalities, Krishna, like bluish, and Arjuna next to him. And Arjuna is actually a warrior, and Krishna is the supreme person, and they have a discussion before a battle starts. It was actually a huge battle many, many years ago, like more than 5,000 years ago. It had to happen. Actually, they wanted to, they wanted to stop this battle. They wanted that the battle will not, how is it in English? That it will not happen. But actually it had to happen because some demoniac people wanted to have a battle, and it had to happen. But we know also nowadays also we have many wars, unfortunately, what to do, but this is actually normal in life. But actually also Arjuna had some crisis on the beginning of the battle because it was not easy for him. He was a warrior, it was his duty to fight, but still it was not easy for him to go in a huge battle. And actually he saw also like family members, teachers and different relatives on the other side of the battle, and it was really hard for him. And then actually he was overwhelmed by different consequences. He had different thoughts, what will be the outcome, what is with different things came in his mind. Is this really pious? Is this not pious? Is this right? Is it wrong? And he became like he was really puzzled with the whole situation. Should I do it? Should I not do it? He was really in anxiety. And it can happen also in our daily life, maybe like for an examination or in different situations in life, that we come to a difficult situation and we are challenged, or we're asking ourselves, should I do it? Should I not do it? Is it right? Is it wrong? Is it okay? Is it not okay? What is the outcome? Should I go for it? Should I not go for it? and different questions came. And he became also paralyzed by this anxiety, and he was confused even about his duty. He was actually a warrior, but he was not sure, should I fight or should I not fight? He wanted actually, on one point, he wanted to leave the battlefield, and he told, maybe I leave to the forest and go meditate. But then Krishna told, sorry, you are a warrior, you have to do your duty. But let's see in which mentality. Now here we have, this is like a little bit an extreme term, the radical teaching of the Bhagavad Gita. But it's actually one nice verse what can help us to get a good understanding to our topic. This is actually on the beginning of the Bhagavad Gita in the 2nd chapter, verse 74. And it's more or less, we go afterwards in the next slide to the verse, but more or less the verse is saying you have the right to act, to do your action, to do your duty, but never to the fruits of your action. It's actually really hard. Somebody would say, yes, go for it, do your exam, but the result is not yours. If you have a nice result, we can delete it. And then you have to go maybe again for the exam. You say, why should I do it? It makes no sense, maybe. But let's see what is behind. Actually, the focus should be on the action, but not on the result. We should focus more what I'm doing. In your case, maybe like an examination, but not the result, because then attachment comes, and attachment can be difficult. But the effort is yours. You have to do your effort. You have to do a nice effort. But the outcomes are not fully in our control. We know, in some sense, yes, because we are doing some kind of effort. But the complete, the complete outcome is not in our hands. There are some different inputs also, not only we. And let's analyze the verse. Karman evat hikara ste ma palishu kadachana ma karma pala hetu pur ma te sangostva akarmani. You have a right to perform your prescribed duties, but you are not entitled to the fruits of action. Never consider yourself the cause of the results of your activities, and never be attached to not doing your duty. Phew, many informations, huh? It's really heavy. It's actually a really heavy topic. I mean, we could maybe think 1 hour only about this verse. But anyway, let's go step by step to the different points that we can go a little bit, we can think into the verse, what it means. Let's start. You have the right to perform your prescribed duties. We have the right because we have also our birthright. We took birth here in this material world as human beings, and we have some kind of capacity, like health and intellectual, different kinds of. We have a different character, we have a different capacity. You have also like more intellectual capacity, otherwise you would not study. This is very good. And the Krishna is telling we have the right to perform our prescribed duty. We should perform our duty. In your case, you are students. It's nice that you study. You should study. But also it is prescribed because it's according to your nature. You have a different kind of nature. And if you do it, this is prescribed for you because it's a part of you. You should do it. Now, this is the first information. But you are not entitled to the fruits of the action. That means we should do, but we should not depend on the fruits of the outcome. We should be a little bit detached from the fruits. It don't mean that we don't get fruits and we don't get an outcome, but it means we should be a little bit detached. Some kind of fruits will come, for sure, we know. Nobody will say, okay, you did the examination and no results, no nothing. It comes, something comes out, but we should be detached. It helps us. And then the next point is, never consider yourself the cause of the results. That means that is a hint that something or somebody is beyond us. I don't know, maybe somebody is religious from you, somebody not. But however, maybe if we believe in a supreme personality of Godhead, then we can say, okay, somebody is above us. If not, we can maybe believe in the universe or whatever, or some higher energy or some laws of nature. But actually, we are not the how to say, we are not the cause of all results. There is some other influences are there. And here we get actually the hint for it. And never be attached to not doing your duty. And also another hint is there, but we should not be lazy then and say, okay, I should not be detached, I should not be attached on the results, then why should I doing it? Then better I let it go and I don't need to do it. That was actually Arjuna's case also. Then he told, okay, I don't go to war, I go into the forest, I go meditating. But Krishna told him, no, sorry, you are a soldier, it's your duty, let's do your duty. But important is in which mentality. That means also we should not be attached to not doing our duty. Okay, let's go further. Actually, it's like in the next verse is something interesting described. This is more about balance, that we can balance a little bit this topic. It's like in the Bhagavad Gita 2:48, and like the main teaching is like remain steady like a rock, remain steady in success or in failure. Try to be neutral if you succeed or if you fail. It's not easy. We know it. We are all the time a little bit hankering for something, but we can try it out at least. We have to be really conscious about. Actually, before the presentation, before we started from the temple, I tried to really practice it really consciously. I give out, I try to really let go the results. I will do my work. I hope the best for everybody, and I try to be detached. I was thinking maybe I should also practice it myself. I mean, I'm a little bit aware of it, but still in daily life it's good to all the time remember. And then maybe sometimes we see some results are coming, what is really satisfying, even it's like maybe like a failure, but still because of detachment you can be still satisfied. It's sometimes really like a miracle, but it works. But actually we have to do our duty that we heard. We should give up the attachment, but stay internally balanced or neutral. Then let's analyze again the verse. Yoga staha kuru karmani sangam tyaktva dhananjaya siddhi asithyo samo bhutva samatvam yoga uchyate. The meaning is like, this is like in Sanskrit, actually the verses are in ancient Sanskrit. The meaning in English is like, perform your duty equiposed, O Arjuna. No, actually, like Krishna is speaking to Arjuna, to the soldier, again, and giving up all attachment to success and failure. Such equanimity is called yoga. Now, again, let's try to go again through the verse to analyze the points. The instruction is, okay, perform your duty, but in an equal mindset, like detached, if success or failure. I mean, we cannot say who care, but we can try our best to be neutral. And giving up all attachments to success and failure. This goes together. And then Krishna says, such equanimity is called yoga. Actually, we know from the material world, it is working like all the time in dualities. Black and white, cold, warm, whatever, like all the time it's beautiful or ugly. It's all the time some differences, some extremes. It's like duality. But if we are on this platform all the time, on this dual platform, then we are bound to matter. We can somehow free ourselves from reactions if we are more detached. And then we can remain peaceful internally. It's not easy, but we can practice it. We can try it out. Okay, let's go further. The lotus metaphor, there's also given there's a nice verse, 5:10. It's a little bit in a further chapter in the Bhagavad Gita. It's related to a lotus flower. Like a lotus leaf untouched by water. We will hear afterwards the verse, but actually again the effort should happen. We should do the action, the activity. The results are also happening. We know there are coming some results. But the attachment does not cling. We are not attached, we are detached to it. Like the lotus flower. Let's see the verse. Brahmani adhyaya karmani sangam tyaktva karotyaha lipyate nasa papena padam patyam ivambasa. One who performs his duty without attachment, surrendering the results unto the Supreme Lord, is unaffected by sinful action, as the lotus leaf is untouched by water. Okay, let's go again step by step through the verse. Now we are on the platform that we somehow accepted this knowledge, or the person, because Krishna is speaking to Arjuna. One who performs his duty, he's willing to do, he's willing to act without attachment. He understood more or less, I should be detached. Even if he cannot do it perfectly, it's really hard to be completely detached from results. It's really hard. But we can try it. And actually, like the saying in English, to try is the perfection. To try is the perfection. We can try it. It's actually nice to try. And then we can see how it works. We can, by own experience, we can see it. And if we are more or less detached and surrendering the results, that means again we can somehow give it up. Somebody can give it up maybe to the Supreme, somebody give it up to the cosmos, somebody can give it up for some higher sense, some higher purpose, or at least not for a selfish purpose that we think, oh, I do it for me and for my pleasure and for my success, that we try to let go the success, and is unaffected by sinful action. That means actually the karmic law. Everybody heard from karma, or everybody heard karmic reaction. Like we do some action and there is behind a reaction. We cannot act without reaction. If it's not so good example, but you go to a store, you take a t-shirt, and then you walk out of the store, and they say, hey, come on, what are you doing? It's 20 francs, you have to pay for it. You know, there is an action, you like to get it, there is a reaction, you have to do something, or something is coming. If you don't do it, you can say, okay, sorry, who cares? Who told this is 20 francs, you walk out, but they call the police. That's like the reaction. And actually, after every step, almost we are doing in the material world, there is an action, but also some kind of reaction is coming. If we like or not, this is like natures of law. A law of nature, sorry. And if we are detached, if we can somehow give up the results, then we don't get the karmic reaction. Because this bound us to duality, to the material world. If we think in a dual thinking, then we get reactions. If we are detached from it, then we can be free from the karmic reaction. This is actually also in Bhakti Yoga, what we are practicing as monks, that we try to be really detached in different things. Anyway, it's a deep topic, but only like in a short version. And then the example is given, like a nice example. Then we are not attached to the water, like as the lotus leaf is unattached by water. We saw before this nice picture from the lotus. It's in the water. but it's not really affected by the water. I mean, it gets some water, but not the lotus leaf is not really wet. The core principle of karma yoga, I explained a little bit, but again, for repeating it, like important is the process over the outcome, that we are acting, we are doing in a nice mentality, but we should not be attached on the outcome. And the effort over ego, we should do the effort in a nice mentality, but try to keep out our false ego, our attachments, our not so good side. And identity beyond achievement, that we say, okay, I'm detached from this result. Somehow, yes, it influences our life, but I'm not the results or the achievements. I'm a person. Somebody can say maybe I'm a spiritual person, or at least I'm a person, but I'm not the results or the achievements. It's like a little bit, it's connected to me, but in some sense also something different. But the action can be done some sense in a service mood, that we're doing in a humble, in a positive mood for a higher value. It is some kind like a service. Actually, according to Srila Prabhupada, I mentioned you the Bhagavad Gita, and you see a picture here from Srila Prabhupada. He was born in 1696, and actually he was translating many old Vedic scriptures into English, German, and other languages. He wanted actually to give us valuable knowledge, what can help us in our daily life. And he told actually also this higher motivation in his scriptures. If we are reading his translations, there should be a higher motivation behind our actions, behind our duties. And it's like that he's telling, like, perfection lies in devotional service. And it can be even done, this service, with some kind of devotion, with some kind of feelings, with love, whatever. And it makes like more sense. There is more sense behind. It's not like only a material endeavor. There is some higher value behind it. And he's also telling, like, perfection is like the orientation, what we also spoke about, our orientation, our meditation, our mood behind the action, but not really the result. And now let's go to a little bit to Western parallels, because now we spoke from this Vedic tradition, but also some Western philosophers or different thinkers have also different similar opportunities. Like in this case, from Greece, a philosopher, Epictetus. He was, I think, around 50 years after Jesus, so far I know, and he had a nice topic about control, and he told, like, some things are in our control, some other things are not in our control. I mean, this makes somehow sense. Some things we can influence, we have some kind of control about it, but not everything. And here's some examples not in our control, like different outcomes, opinions, external events. Something may like more in our control, like our efforts, our intention, our motivation, and our character, what we are, how we are. Then here from Viktor Frankl, he was actually a psychiatrist from Vienna, from Austria. That's from a book from Man's Search for Meaning. And actually, he had this topic like, he who has a why in his life, like this question why, can tolerate almost anyhow. It's actually very interesting. Actually, he researched, and actually he was he got this, his input from concentration camps. And he saw people who were in the concentration camps had a higher value for life. They survived, and the others not. It's actually really hard, but actually he made this experience. And And it's actually really an important thing. If we have a higher goal, a higher topic, a higher sense, then it makes more sense. It makes more sense than if we are living only for selfish motivations or whatever. And yeah, then we can see like meaning sustains resistance, comfort does not so much. And actually karma yoga, what we spoke about, is supplying this question of why. We have a higher why behind, why we are doing something. And we can relate this why to our capacity or to our belief. But at least we have some why behind. Like we told, the action as a sacred offering. This is like simple, practical, and satisfying solution. It satisfies our heart. And now another topic, like unified will. It's also very nice, because often we have these different kinds of topics where people are fighting all the time. What we see also in the world. And actually, this is from Søren Kierkegaard. He was also a philosopher from Denmark, and he told actually, from purity of heart is to will one thing. That means somehow more or less, if we have some kind of purity in our hearts, some goodwill, some good motivations, some not so selfish motivations, some love, some feelings, some compassion, whatever, some kind of purity in the heart, there is easier to will one thing, to go to a same conclusion with different people. It's way more easier. If we are more in our ego and I like this, I like that, this is my opinion, then we have all the time fight and war. And then actually we see also like anxiety grows when motives are divided in different directions. We see also in the world, like impressing others, if we like to impress others, if we like to avoid shame, for example, if we are seeking for confirmation, we like to be confirmed in our life. But clarity unifies motivation. If we have some clarity in our mind, in our hearts, this is more like a unity. It's more easier. Then actually aim higher. From C.S. Lewis, he was like a renewed British novelist, and he had a thought like, aim at heaven and you get earth thrown in. And actually the idea behind this, if you aim for something higher, let's say something like more like in a spiritual direction, you get also the material one. That comes with it. It's like a simple one. If you hanker only for material things, then you have only the material things. But maybe even not. Because maybe if you're too attached, maybe you not even get the material thing. But if you aim for something higher, then the material things will come naturally. Actually, we have also this example like we humans, we often are too eager for the material things, and it's normal, we need some, and it's naturally that we have some, we have to live. But we are often in this unhealthy anxiety for it. Like animals, not so much. They are cared, they are looking for something to eat, some shelter, and they're doing, and they're also supplied. Actually, they are also living, and they have everything what they need. The example is given in Vedic scriptures when there is let's say like a bucket of rice on the streets, and some humans are going there, they try to collect the whole thing and go with it. When some birds are coming, they're picking some rice out, what they need, and they go. They're not collecting so much for themselves. We are collecting often, like with this attachment. And yeah, make like success like in a secondary priority, and like service for like a priority. And it's more easier, and we are more detached. Now we have a nice story from an archer. You see here on the picture, it could be Arjuna, our warrior. Let's say the story is connected with Arjuna, with our warrior here in our battle. And this story is going on that actually, let's say Arjuna, he had a teacher who taught him. It was Dronacharya in the art of how to say, archering. And the teacher told him, he gave him some advice, because there was a competition between different archers. And he got the advice, Arjuna got the advice, be careful. If you are going, if you're meditating that you like to win, then you start to tremble. If you like to shoot the bow, you start to tremble because you like to win for yourself. If you like to prove yourself, then you become nervous. It's also not so good, because it's also for selfish, it's for me. But if you do it out of love for the craft or for some higher sense, then you can win. You are free, and then you can really do it detached. And that was actually nice, advices from his teacher, from Dronacharya. Detachment means liberates excellence. Actually, then we can come to a higher platform, to a higher consciousness. Okay. Also, like psychology confirms all these topics, like extrinsic motivations, like if you are looking for status, rewards, or approval, then actually really anxiety and burnout can come out of it. But if it's like an intrinsic and meaning-based motivation, then something can grow, some contribution is there, some love for craft, and there is like a more resilience and a flow there in our life. Then some practical applications, again to repeat the points, what we went through. Redefine success. What means success for you? Try to redefine it. Then separate effort from the outcome. You have to do your efforts, but the outcome we can let go in some sense. Then our mentality, offer the results, try to offer in some way the results, more or less. We can try it out. And questioning your why am I doing it? Or you can also ask on the end again, would I do this if nobody would applaud it? Yes, well done, you did it very good. Again, the question from before. And actually, we are close to the end. Our final reflection, you are not the sum of your results. We discussed it, actually we are not the results, but you are the direction of your will. What we like to go for it, in which kind of mentality, this makes actually our future. And there was like the points, inspiring points like care deeply, act fully. We heard still be convinced, do your action, do your efforts, and release attachment. And still some effort will come. If you like or not, if you are detached or not, some outcome will come. And freedom is not escape from action, like in the case of Arjuna. It is like, it is freedom within action that we are doing, but in the right mentality. Okay, then now we are really close to the end. It's not the last slide, but almost. This is also from a verse from Bhagavad Gita, from the 3rd chapter. Perform your action without attachment. And also, I was looking for an example from the Bible. Somebody is maybe from Christian background, also myself actually. And the Bible is also described work as for the Lord, not for human masters. Like not for, maybe for some more supreme, for more higher, not like only for some material gains. And across the traditions now, motivation without ego attachment, it gives some freedom, some resistance, some excellence in our lives. And now again, our question from the beginning: can we remain motivated without being attached to results? Would it be possible or not? What do you think? What do you think? Yes? Who think yes? Who think not? Or maybe? Actually, it is possible, but it's not easy. Maybe you recognize it's not so easy, but it is possible. For this, we need actually the right desire. Actually, I collected these 3 points, what are really very important for it. You need the right desire, the right motivation, the right attitude, that you can achieve it. This, how to say this, correct mood. Then you have to have the faith in it, because if you are only like, I have the desire, but I think, oh, I cannot guess that it will work out, then actually you destroy your desire. You have the faith also in it. Yes, it will work out. It's also not easy sometimes to keep the faith in it. And we should do the effort for sure. The work is ours. So, and this is our last slide. Choose your final end or your future, to be bound by attachments or be free with higher goal. Thank you very much. That was a short presentation. We are almost in time. Maybe somebody has some questions, some comments, something. Thank you very much.
Yeah, I actually have like a question comment. It's about the difference between detachment and like kind of non-attachment. I'm a little bit nitpicky, but I don't want to be detached. And I also don't want to be detached from the results. If something good happens, I want to be happy. If something bad happens, I want to be sad. Like I want to have that kind of human experience. But then like internally, I don't want to be non-attached to the feeling of sadness so that it overtakes me, but I still want to experience that sadness openly. Because if I'm just detached completely, and if I don't feel anything after a result, then I'm like kind of dead inside. You know, I have this human experience. I want to be sad if something bad happens, even if it was outside of my control.
Yeah, it's good.
That
thank you for the question.
Part of the life.
Yeah, for sure. Thank you for the question. It's a good question. But actually, how to say, like, the topic was not that we should be so much, or in a sense, detached, that we are completely neutral, without feelings, without, I mean, I would say what means without expectations, but that we try to let go a little bit, that we are not too much attached, because this too much attachment is bounding. You have still to do your duty, but more like in, okay, let's see what will come out. I do my effort, I have some, actually almost like, even almost on the other side, you should have even some feelings in it, in your effort, you should have a higher value, and actually this is about meaning, about value, about even feelings, about whatever experiences. That don't mean this is like a cold thing. We live like, okay, I'm completely no smile, no smell, no whatever, no taste. No, it's not that we delayed everything, but in a sense that you try to be free of the result, that you're not too much attached on the result. I mean, you can have a desire, for sure. I would like to make a good exam, but if you have a higher value, but I would satisfy my parents, I would do the, I would, even you can connect it with different feelings, with different higher motivations, but still in a little bit in a sense of not so much self-motivated, maybe. Is it more or less clearer? But still, you should, it's a good point, we should not be completely without feelings or whatever. This is not good. Actually, even in our tradition, actually this is actually it's a good point, because it's difficult on the beginning. Often for monks, for example, we should be renounced and no this, no that, no. And actually you have to be a little bit cold, but after some time you have to add some feelings. But you can train also this to be detached. It's a little bit cold process, but you should actually, or you can even in the beginning, also add feelings to it, because otherwise it's too cold and it's empty. Then it's like impersonal. It's completely like, and then you dry up, or you say like you are completely out of world, without experience, without feelings, without emotions. And this is really like, this is not what we are looking for in life. This is not. But thank you for your question. It's a good point. But it's actually not the meaning behind. If you got it somehow.
I know that you probably didn't mean that.
Yeah.
If you just look at it from a very simple lens,
Yeah.
the idea is to detach, so I'm going to do that. And it's just too simple.
Yeah, for sure. It's a little bit a complex topic.
Yeah,
We could go in different parts in it and try to go deeper. But thank you. Maybe somebody have some other points? Something? Yes, thank you.
Can you please go 3 slides
Back?
back?
This one?
One more. Yes.
Practical.
Would I do this if nobody uploaded?
Yeah.
I think this is half of the question. You can maybe ask, would I do this if nobody hissed, if nobody booed, if nobody said anything negative? Because
Okay.
if nobody uploaded, that is maybe seen as negative. But if nobody said anything bad about what I do, maybe that is also a motivation. What do you think?
Sorry, you told, get I'm right with your, if somebody would even say something bad about it? I mean, applauding is like something positive.
Right.
And you say, like, if somebody would say even something negative about your outcome, or
Yes, we can also ask ourselves, would I do this if nobody criticized my work?
okay, yeah, for sure. I mean, it's like, I mean, there is not so much space, and I cannot go too much further, but it's a nice idea for sure. And even how to deal with this, I mean, anyway, we can go further and further in different thoughts. It's nice also, still. If we are also open for this is also very open-minded and not so selfish motivated. If we say, okay, I would also take some, how to say, some, what is this? Like if somebody is critical with you, some critics or some. It's also nice. Actually, we also train this, that actually even sometimes seniors we ask for how you see me, how you think about me, what I'm doing wrong. Sometimes we also asking, then we can learn, then we can quicker come further and let go our ego, our false ego. If somebody sees some kinds of faults in you or what you are not doing right, is also a nice, humble opportunity. So it's very nice, a very good idea. If you have this kind of mentality, very good. It's very good. It's very positive. Thank you very much. Somebody, something else? Yes?
Do you have a personal example when you are attached to something and you realize it?
If I'm attached to something and you realize it?
Do you still sometimes feel attached to certain things and then you realize it consciously and then what you do about it?
Yeah, thank you very much about the question. Yeah, actually, many years I had a social work that I distributed some literature, some Vedic literature with wisdoms, with knowledge to persons. I traveled around different cities, countries, and we tried to help some people with this knowledge. And this actually, you try to have a good motivation to give, to share, to help, but still you can be attached to give, to help. And actually, it's not an easy to balance it. To have let's say a good motivation, but still be detached. And I had many years I did this work and was also sometimes attached. Oh, let's this and that, and then you realize you are like pushing yourself. You create a pressure for yourself and also for others. And I had to realize it in some years, and you have to give it up, otherwise you burn yourself. You can understand what I mean? You burn with this pressure yourself and even others. Because somehow even it is good, it's a good will behind, you can burn others with it. It's somehow like, I would not say maybe a force to others, but it's not, you don't give them the free will because you are hankering for something and you're pressuring somebody. And I don't say that I completely learned it, but at least some kind of lessons I had, and I try to be now more detached, especially if it's like a topic in a personal exchange. Like, for example, for opinions. You have this opinion, I have this opinion. I don't try to force the people, let's hear what is his meaning, his opinion, his belief, and then let's have an open discussion, a nice one, a lovely one, and like in a way that we understand or appreciate each other, and not that I would like to, that's correct, that's right, you have to take it. And I had to learn it in some sense because I spoke maybe with, I don't say with millions of people, but I don't know, with hundred thousands of people. I had conversations with different religions, different beliefs, different ages, different countries. I saw hundreds, thousands of people and had exchanges with them. It's actually really helpful to little bit to grow in some personal exchanges. Yeah, but thank you. There I could learn a little bit more to be a little bit detached, in my opinion, and also take up others' opinion, and if it's maybe it's okay. Thank you for the question. Somebody else? Yes, thank you.
So, suppose I have a desire to get more wisdom and
Yeah.
to become more conscious.
Yeah.
So, is that desire is also attachment?
Yeah, I mean, in some sense it's positive, it's good, but it can be still an attachment. Like from my example, what I explained now, it was somehow a good motivation behind, but still it was attachment behind. And you can learn if you recognize actually on the point where you are suffering from your attached desire, if you get the point. If you recognize, man, this is like I'm pressuring myself. I'm under my own pressure actually. Then hopefully you start to change it, or you try to give up the pressure. And then you can do it. You have to realize yourself. You have to have some situations, and that's why if we have some kind of knowledge, we can try to practice it in our daily life. And then we have to go in situations. We are, if you like or not, we have everyday situations, and they are created, and they also helping us to adjust something, or to try something, or to change something, or not. It's up to your free will. But if you recognize you have a little bit the wrong attitude, that means there is like a little bit like a sick attachment behind, even it's still for a good purpose, you can still try to be detached. You can still try to be motivated, but it's not easy. I also, many years I struggled with this topic, but somehow I don't perfected it, but it's way more better, like before, like many years before. And you can work on it. You can be conscious of yourself. You can, how to say, reflect yourself all the time, and see, am I really detached, or with some? And you will feel it. You will see it. If you are a little bit subtle and fine with you and honest with yourself, you will recognize it. And try it out, and then try go in the situations, and you can follow your mindset, your behavior, the actions, what you are doing, the situations, what you're going through, how you feel, how you recognize this, and then you can get it out. You can, if you're aware, you will for sure get the answer if you are right or not. And if you are really detached, you feel really, you feel detached. You are not feel pressured. You are okay. You are satisfied. You're peaceful. If not, if something is like all the time you are like burning and hankering, then you feel that something is not completely 100%. Okay? Thank you very much. Should we stop? We are 10 minutes now.
I think we have to.
We should stop, huh? That
Make another class.
yeah, that we can. Thank you very much for attention. Thank you.
Question answer and take together prashad.
Yeah, there is also something, we brought something to eat for you. Hopefully you join. Hopefully you're hungry. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Manendra.
Thank you.
And we invite everybody to join us or take some lunch.
Krishna. Nice to see you.
So,
Thank you for your question.
I have another question, which sometimes I feel confused. So, if we see about the Bhagavad Gita and Vedic philosophy, it